definitely use RPE within my programs that I prescribe. So one of the key characteristics for me is when people are just starting out and they're getting a feel for running to objective prescription, I like to complement it with RPE. So, for example, I use the Foster scale, which is 0 to 10, and it's the one that people don't really understand, where 5 is hard. So, you often say to people, "Oh, how hard was that?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, no, pretty easy, 5 out of 10." I'm like, "No, that's hard." So, it requires a little bit of education. But for me, what I like about that is when you're referencing the easy and hard runs, that people have to start thinking about it. So, like when they finish an easy run, and I guess an important point to note, and you alluded to it, when you're expecting people to record or report an RPE, try and get the actual collection point consistent. So I would say within 2 to 4 minutes of finishing your run, think to yourself, okay, how hard was that? Like, was that a 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 7 out of 10? So at least then you're reflecting on the session. You're not thinking about it like when your tongue's hanging out of your head and you're like, geez, okay, this is bloody hard. So I think keep the reporting consistent, which I think some people do really well. Other people are probably a little bit inconsistent and haphazard with that. So yeah, I certainly do use it, and I think it is complementary to the objective model, because I think it's nice to get people to start to, I don't want people just to like turn into a metronome and run just to, just get too distracted by running to their watch. They've got to have a feel for how they're feeling as well, because I rely on that feedback from them to say, well, hey, I've prescribed this, you've done the session really well. Like, how much flex do you think is there? How much room to move is there? Oh yeah, I felt like it was only a 5 out of 10. I think I could work a bit harder. So that kind of dialogue and information for me is invaluable, because that tells me about their adaptation without having to retest all the time too. So I can start to, I might say, okay, well, based on that, I'm going to increase your intensity prescription by 1.25% or 2.5%, whatever it is. Let's see how we go. Okay, is that more in line with the RPE we want? Yes, it is. Perfect. Okay. Now I can be confident that their MAS value that we use at the back end has started to shift upward. So I guess all of those things are factored in when I do the programming and have that sort of regular dialogue with the athletes.